I'm talking today to Dr. Marieta du Plessis from the Department of Industrial Psychology at the University of the Western Cape. Marieta, we have heard that the road to becoming a registered industrial psychologist is a tough one. Could you shed some light on this from your experience of teaching aspiring industrial psychologists?
Thank you, Jock. According to South African law, industrial psychologists have to go through quite a few years of studies and completing with a master's degree in industrial psychology and then a one-year internship and a board exam after that. Apart from that, it seems to be that our students have a bit of a mismatch in their perception when they enter into the master's degree. So they have this glorious idea, they feel very proud of getting into the program, maybe even feel a little bit arrogant for passing that very stringent selection criteria. But then as time goes on, they start to realize just how hard it is, how much work it takes, and just how cognitively challenging it is. It's also, I think, if we're talking about it being hard, it's that time of the master's student's life. They're typically about 24 to 28 years of age. They're getting married, they're changing jobs, they're having babies. So just time-wise, it's also very difficult for them to give their full attention. They're very torn between all of the different areas that they have to look at. So from my perspective, I try to practice an ethic of care as described in the literature to ensure the well-being of the students. So it's in this case that I'm considering to change my one course that I teach in Masters in 2018 to a blended learning approach.
Could you elaborate for us on what you mean, what you have in mind with your blended learning approach?
Certainly. So one part of it really is about changing the logistics and the timing of the course. At the moment, the students have 3 lectures per week, and it's in the evening, so it's from 5:30 to around about 8 o'clock. It's very taxing on the students. They get home, they get to class, they're tired, they're hungry. So it's really not the best space for learning. So the idea is that some of the content would be compacted into workshop format, and that would take place on 2 Saturdays during the semester. But that the other content is transformed into an online space where students can watch in their own time, repeat watching this, if it's for instance a skills training that they need to do, and also engage with one another in a supportive online collaborative way. Ideas that I have around this is, for instance, TED Ed lectures that they would need to do, collaborating on Google Drive and Google Docs, and even collaborative note-taking as they continue in the program.
As a final question, would you say that your students have access to and understand technology to the extent that would be required for you to use this approach? Is your proposed idea not placing further pressure on an already overburdened student?
I think, Jock, that's a very important question, and specifically if we talk in this ethic of care, is we have to ensure the student well-being as well. So it shouldn't just be for the sake of it. And it's in this line that I've decided to take a participatory approach to redesigning the course. So it's going to start, for instance, just with contacting the students right at the beginning of when they selected and doing a digital literacy profile to see, what skills do they actually have and how much we would need to educate in terms of helping them with those skills, but also to see what would really work for them. What would they prefer? What kind of collaboration do they like? Do they want more face-to-face, more online, etc.? We'll also have some dummy videos, so for instance, just understanding what it means to be a master's student that will do for a TED Ed. So just to have some pilot runs in that regard.
Thank you, Marieta.
Thank you, Jock.